Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are back with some more Return to Shironagasu Island, picking up right at where we left off in the last episode. Jacob has been brutally murdered, and there's 6 of us left. We are with Akira and Giselle. We're gonna go check in on Real, and we don't even know if she's okay. Real, could you open your door? I'd like to have a word. Okay, so Real is still alive. Huh? Actually, I heard everything through my door. I've been in my room this whole time. I don't have any witnesses, so I don't know if I can convince you of that, though. I'm glad that you got straight to the point. Do you remember hearing any noises outside? I think I heard Akira's voice in the hallway once, but nothing else. I might not have heard much because of the sound of the wind blowing outside. I'm sorry. What are you saying? Akira, don't let her fool you. She's trying to make me look suspicious. Calm down, Akira. Real just said that she heard your voice in the hallway. She didn't say that you were the killer, did she? Although I might be a suspect, Akira doesn't have an alibi either, right? I didn't have time to kill him. The more I think about it, the more certain I am that it has to be you. The killer must have wanted us to quarrel with each other. This is not an amateur. The murder method, that was a professional assassination technique. They covered his mouth from behind and neatly severed his carotid artery. If we don't stay calm, we won't stand a chance. In any case, we should gather in Akira's room. Giselle, could you call Alex and ask him to come here? Coming to this room by himself should not be too dangerous. Yes, I will. That's strange. What is it? I can't seem to contact the phone in Mr. Warner's room. All I can hear is a busy tone. What? That's strange. Do you think he was killed also? That's definitely possible. Or he could have been attacked by that monster. I should go and see. Holy crap. So you want the 4 of us to stay together in a single room? Not knowing who the killer is? It's alright. Just wait a few minutes. If Alex is safe, I'll come back immediately. All of you should stand in a corner, face the others, and raise your hands. If one of you lowers your hands, the other should try to constrain her. Easy for you to say. Does that really work? I'll be back in just a few minutes. Considering the circumstances, the killer won't be reckless. Very well, we will do as you say. But Akira, please come back as soon as possible. For real, since nobody knows who the killer is. Please come back quickly. I've spoken to everyone on the 2nd floor. That only leaves Alex. There's no time to waste. Transition. Alex, it's me. Are you alright? Open up. What's all this? What's this all of a sudden? You startled me. I was just about to leave my room. Are you alright? Your phone gave a busy signal. My phone? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. What's going on? Did something else happen? What if that was Giselle trying to get us to separate from the group? I'll tell you about it later. For now, just follow me. Ah, okay. I'll do as you say, but could you tell me what's going on while we're walking? Fine, I'll give you the short version. Jacob has been murdered. We're all gathering in a single room. What? Jacob? The killer struck again? I came to get you because the phone in your room gave a busy signal. I was afraid that the killer had murdered you too. What? Don't say such scary things. Nothing strange has happened since you left. Oh God. Ugh, a blackout. This is bad. We have to go to the room on the 2nd floor right away. Go to the room, you say? It's pitch black and I can't see anything. Don't touch me there. That is my no-no square. What are you talking about? Oh God. Oh, the lights went back on. Huh? Oh, it was just the wall. Silly me. Hey, like I have time to fool around. Let's head upstairs. What's that sound? Gunfire? Darn, Nanako! I knew it. The hallway looks the same as it did before, but I'm certain that something has happened. I have a very bad feeling about this. Just stay safe. Nanako! No. It wasn't me. Akira, help. What the hell is going on? What happened? What was that gunshot just now? I can see Akira and Giselle covered in blood, and Nanako is holding a knife. Real, where is she? Nanako, what the hell happened here? The light suddenly went off. I heard the sound of something moving and then some gunshots. Before I knew what happened, I had a knife in my hand. But I didn't do this. Help me, Akira. It's all right. Just give me the knife. Darn, no way. It's all the killer's work. I suddenly hear something moving quickly in the dark. A lukewarm liquid trickles down my back. A soft groan echoes in the dark. Before I realize what is going on, I feel a sharp sting in my side. Seconds later, the pain hits. The world goes dark before my eyes. I try to fight back, but my punches only hit air. A shadow thrusts its knife at me again. I collapse onto the floor. I try to protect myself from the night lunging at me. I feel the shock of a sharp blade piercing into my chest. I violently spew out blood. The shadow repeatedly stabs me over and over. Akita! Akita! I think I can hear Neneko's cry from far away. Ah, darn, I guess I was wrong. My reasoning was wrong from the get-go. Even now, it's too late. I finally realize who the killer is. I think of Neneko as my life drains from my body. What? Oh boy. Okay, thank God I've been making multiple saves. I could have just screwed myself. Holy crap. Okay, I'm gonna, I guess I have to pick correctly when it asks me who the wizard is, which is something I did on the previous episode. I'm gonna go ahead and pause, and I'll bring it back once I make that guess. And hopefully that alters the course of the game. Okay, I guessed that wizards was real instead of Alex, and I'm getting a different gameplay sequence. So let's roll with it, see where we go with this. Hello? It's me, Akita. I'd like to talk to you. Do you have a second? Hi, Akita. Did you find out where that scream came from? Of course I have a moment to talk. What is this about? I would like you to come into my room, just you alone. Would that be all right? Yes, but what's going on? Not knowing the details scares me. I'll tell you when you're here. I'd appreciate it if you could come as soon as possible. All right. I'll be there in a bit. I'll be waiting. I think Giselle is the killer. I'm calling it. Guys, rewind the tapes if Giselle is the killer, because I feel like it's Giselle. Accusing Real all of a sudden is risky. What if you're wrong? In that case, I'll just apologize. Don't you feel any sense of guilt? She may become terribly upset. Akita, it's me. Can I come in? Yes, please come in. The door is unlocked. Hello, Akita. What did you want to talk about? Also, why did you want to talk to me alone? What's going on? I wanted to ask you a few things. Real, you're wizards, aren't you? Wizards? What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Okay, well, I tell Real what I've declared. The people who I excluded and people who are unlikely to be wizards. However, I try to avoid talking about what happened with Alex as much as possible. With this information, we've narrowed down the list of people who could be wizards to 2. Jacob and you. So who of you 2 could wizards be? Jacob is dead. I took a closer look at the name wizards. It's strange that this is the plural form of the word wizard. Perhaps this name contains important information about wizard's identity. So what could that be? Was there something that further narrowed it down? What about the Wither Hills white wine brand? I continue Neneko's mothering line of thought. Yes, that's a possibility. It's possible that Jacob based that name on a wine brand. But Jacob is a picky guy and prefers high-end wine. He would have used the name of a more exclusive winery, not a supermarket wine. So let's look at the second possibility. The NBA team, the Washington Wizards. It's a basketball team from Washington, and I remember one of the guests talking about Washington before. Ah, that's right. Real said that she is an internist from Washington. Exactly. Undercover investigators usually use the place they are from in their backstories to ensure that there aren't any slip-ups during their mission. Because if they say the wrong thing about a place they don't know, people who are familiar with the place might blow their cover. So perhaps your place of birth really is Washington. Therefore, when you try to come up with a code name, you thought of Washington and that name popped in your head. This means that you've revealed your identity by telling me what city you're from. Hey, wait a minute, can I just say something? Even if you really believe that I'm wizards based on that information, isn't that rather flimsy proof? You also can't discount the possibility that Jacob wanted to make me look suspicious. No, it took wizards only a second to come up with that name. Jacob couldn't have come up with that in such a short time. Even if he could have done so, why would he use the name of an NBA team? Most people wouldn't associate Washington with basketball. Also, I have conclusive evidence that proves that you are wizards. Conclusive evidence? Didn't you notice that I muted the phone for a moment when you called earlier? When I muted it, I asked Neneko to call the guest phone from Alex's room. The only phone that was in use was the one in your room. Neneko, we weren't told that inside information. Isn't that funny? Only wizards and I were using our phones. If your phone was in use, who were you talking to? No room phones were being used except for yours and mine. The phone in my room? You must be mistaken. Stop playing innocent. The gig is up. You might as well drop the act, wizards. Huh. So that's why you muted your phone. I've been played like a fool. But I remember clearly asking you not to reveal my identity. So you are wizards after all. Actually, I wasn't sure that it was you until just now. Sorry. It looks like you admitted it a little bit too soon. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Calm down and think about it. Do you really think I could have Oh, that was a lie! Akita, you son of a gun. Do you really think I could have asked Neneko to go to Alex's room by herself to call all of the phones? There's no way she would have done that. Why do I feel totally useless right now? But now that you mention it, I don't think I would have done that. Ah! You were bluffing, and I believed you? No do-overs, I'm afraid. I'm sorry I had to fool you. But I'm glad that you've revealed your true identity. However, wizards, we have to be on equal ground. You've got to be kidding me. Fine, you've bested me. Alright, I'll talk. I need a stiff drink first, though. I've got really good whiskey earlier. Let's have a glass of that. Slinte, wizards. I don't know what that word is. You're bloody annoying, Senakita. Yeah, I hear that a lot. Alright. We've gone down the correct path now. I'm gonna do a little save. Are you sure this whiskey isn't poisoned? I got this whiskey before the people from the mansion became hostile to us, so don't worry about it being poisoned. But you know, Real, you're pretty rough around the edges. Shut up. Who cares about my personality? If you have something to ask me, just ask. But you should understand that there are certain things I can't tell you. So what organization do you belong to? CIA? MI6? As I said, there are things I can't talk about. I can't just tell you who I work for, moron. Don't worry, I understand. Alright, I won't ask again. How did you manage to get on the guest list? You made your way onto this island by using an invitation sent to someone else, didn't you? More of those subjects I can't really talk about. But alright, yes, my invitation was originally sent to someone named Sean Baxter. He was knee-deep in problems, and we managed to ensnare him. We wanted to send an undercover investigator to this island, so I cut a deal with him and became his representative. He ended up being hospitalized with a sudden illness. I see. However, the people working in this mansion are quite cautious. It would be difficult to convince them that you're a relative of one of the guests. Who are you, really? I wasn't lying when I told you I was an internist in Washington. Of course, I'm not doing that work anymore, and I only worked as an internist for about a year. What kind of reputation did you have as an internist? What? Why are you asking that? Nothing out of the ordinary. I see. Well, with her personality, it wouldn't surprise me if she had a bad reputation. Why am I really annoyed with you right now? Real, what do you know about this island? Sorry, but I don't know that much. Of the 3 other investigators who infiltrated this place so far, 2 have disappeared. The only one who returned was not able to discover any detailed information about this island. We found out so far, though, that this is a base for prostitution, organ trade, and some kind of weapon development. It sounds like you have more than enough information to blow the lid off this place, so why haven't you? Many well-known politicians and business people have frequented this island, so we couldn't expose the actual state of things here in the usual way. Besides, we're after this island's research and development. We're not that interested in prostitution and the trade of organs. So you needed to verify the information that had been gathered so far. If your superiors discovered that this kind of biological weapon was being developed on this island, what would they do? Something smells fishy. They're hiding something, aren't they? To be honest, I have my doubts as well. Hang on, this is classified information. I can't talk about this or else I jeopardize my position. Don't worry, there's no way that this information could leak out in the first place. This is only conjecture, but perhaps one of our superiors is one of the island's clients, who also knew about the island's research. That's what I've been thinking. I see. In other words, This superior who's seen that research wanted to obtain that technology by any means necessary. However, if he revealed all of the details, it would be obvious that he was a client of the island's other services. So he made up stories about weapons of mass destruction so that your organization would have a reason to seize and obtain that biological weapon? It's just an educated guess, but the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. But if so, I'm just a pawn used to satisfy someone else's greed. I'm really fed up. I can understand that. Why don't you get a new job? I'm a bad guy. I can only do dirty jobs like this one. I've done too many bad things to be able to lead a normal life. Hey, if I can do it, so can you. Well, if you want to turn over a new leaf, drop by at my office. We'll talk. I don't think you're keeping your hands that clean either, Akita. Hey, Akita's squeaky clean, okay? Well, I'll keep it in mind. Don't expect anything, though. Tell me what you were doing before and after Thomas's murder. I want to hear the details. Before I went to the dining hall, I was drinking in the lounge with Jacob. That idiot couldn't keep his mouth shut after a few drinks. He was a real font of information. I see. You were spending time with Jacob. I thought that Jacob kept you there against your will, but it actually was the other way around. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. He appeared to be in quite a drunken state, and I was only pretending to drink so that it wouldn't interfere with my mission. So what happened after that? Abby, the maid, told us that the food was ready, so we went to the dining hall. Didn't you arrive rather late? If I remember correctly, you were the last guest to arrive in the dining hall. Right, Neneko? Eek! Yes, you're right. Come to think of it, I thought I'd quickly run back to the guest room building. I went to the bridge, but I noticed that the heavy iron door there was closed. I figured that opening it would take too much time, so I just went back to the dining hall instead. I don't know if he was waiting for me or just took his time in the bathroom, but I ran into Jacob again, and we went to the dining hall together. That's it. I see. So the iron door was closed? Was there anything unusual about the corridor? Unusual? Nothing in particular. No, come to think of it, I think the iron doors were open at first. Does that mean that someone closed them? The iron doors were open? When was that? I was disgusted by Jacob's drinking, so I pretended I had to go back to my room to adjust my makeup. What time was it? It was before Abby told us about lunch, so it had to have been sometime before everyone gathered in the dining hall. Sometime before everyone got together in the dining hall, so the doors were open at that time. However, when I went to the corridor later on, the doors were closed again. That seems to be the case. Someone must have lowered the doors. Someone lowered the iron doors. There must have been a reason for that. Why would anyone need to close those doors? Can you tell me more about this island? Any minor details are helpful. Anything else that comes to mind? I don't think I know anything else. No, wait, come to think of it. For some reason, the research on this island suddenly stagnated 10 years ago. Apparently, the flow of materials such as the special chemicals they were using slowed to a trickle, but I don't know why. 10 years ago. Does that mean something happened at that time? Perhaps they ran out of money? No. Prostitution and the organ trade continued at the same levels as before, and there were plenty of clients. It's unlikely that they ran out of money. If that's the case then, what could have slowed down the research? The disappearance of an essential element used for research, or maybe an important researcher who went missing? Is it possible that these murders are connected to that? Can the killer negotiate with the people from the mansion because they possess something that was lost, like a code? It is possible. It would allow them to resume their research. They would definitely be interested in obtaining such a code. Maybe that's the unlock code they're after. It could be the reason why Vincent and his associates would revolt. But why was the killer able to obtain that unlock code in the first place? It remains a mystery. At any rate, I'm glad there is a possible connection between the research on this island and the killer. Did you notice anything about the causes of death or the murder of Thomas and Sir Raymond? If you're asking about my autopsies, I was taking them very seriously. I wasn't hiding anything. Thomas burned to death and Sir Raymond died of blood loss after he was tortured. Thomas burned to death somewhere where there wasn't any fire. Sir Raymond was cautious but ended up being murdered anyway. From the perspective of an undercover investigator, what do you think? Sorry, but I don't really know what to think. The way I see it, the circumstances surrounding Thomas's murder were very strange indeed. And although Sir Raymond was extremely vigilant, he was killed. But if the killer is a trained assassin, they would have overpowered him with ease. Sir Raymond probably had a gun or some kind of communication device. I don't think he would have had any time to use any of them, though. One more thing, Real. Did you hear any strange moaning after you arrived at the island and were escorted to your room? A strange moaning? Yes, I think I did. It sounded like the useless screaming of a half-witted girl. Grr. Ah, I forgot about her screams. Didn't you hear anything else? A man's groans, for example? A man's groans. No, I don't think I did, but is this connected to any of the murders? I'm only guessing here, but I think Sir Raymond was captured and killed around the same time we were shown to our rooms. He was tied up and drugged. After that, all the killer had to do was torture and kill him. The killer seems to have harbored quite a grudge against him. But was he tortured in the same room we found his body in? I wonder. Even if the killer was a professional, I don't think Sir Raymond would fall into such an obvious trap. If you were Sir Raymond, what would catch you off guard? Someone who wasn't supposed to be there. That could have caught him by surprise. I see. Someone who should not have been there. Who could the killer be? My guess would be that it is a trained assassin. Sorry, but that's everything I know about this island. Let me ask you something else. Okay? Wizards is a rather strange alias. Are you a basketball fan? Huh? When I was a student, I used to play basketball, so yeah. I shouldn't have chosen a word associated with Washington. It's your demise, real. But most people would not associate wizards with Washington. Yeah, most people wouldn't. But don't forget that someone rather special made the connection. Neneko Izumozaki. She possesses such a unique ability, yet she can't utter a single word without tripping over her tongue. What? Why are you so mean to me? However, real, you weren't the only guest with a medical background. Isn't it difficult to deceive others without having the knowledge of an active physician? I was planning to brush up on my studies so I wouldn't be exposed. However, knowing too much is not too good either. It's easier to play the part of an ignorant little woman than that of an outstanding doctor. I see. This is very important. Could you tell me about your weapons and skills? I have a Glock 30 with 3 spare magazines. That's the only gun I brought with me. Close quarters martial arts, hacking, sabotage skills, and so on. I've trained in almost everything. Looks like you could come in handy then, although you're not very well armed. I mean, a Glock with 3 clips, that sounds pretty well armed. Don't be silly. I plan to use a Glock 42, which has an even smaller magazine size, and I'm quite familiar with it. I didn't expect a large battle to happen, and only planned on using a gun in emergencies. Unfortunately, it looks like a large battle is about to happen. I'm glad there aren't many people from this mansion, but I'm rather worried about that monster. It's a humanoid biological weapon developed for the military. I haven't had to face it myself yet. I don't think we can easily neutralize it. Nanika, what impressions did you have when you saw it? Wah, don't remind me of that all of a sudden. Let me see. As far as I could tell, its movements seemed slow, but I can't say anything because it might not have shown its true power yet. In other words, you know nothing, Neneko. That's pretty useless. I was in a tough spot, you know. Don't bully her like that. Anyway, if it bleeds, we can kill it. If it bleeds, we can kill it. We should be prepared to fight it at any time, though. Alright, I just hope it won't come to that. That report I read was pretty scary. Are we going to be alright? That's all I have to say about that. Have you had enough? Real, would you happen to know a girl called Aurora? Aurora? Who's that? What does she look like? She's blonde with blue eyes and wears a big blue ribbon in her hair. There's someone on this island who looks like that? I don't remember seeing her, but could she have survived what they did to the girls in this mansion? Well, if you don't remember her, forget about it. Perhaps you shouldn't ask Real about Aurora. Real doesn't remember her either. If she was a virtual character created by that computer, it's only natural that none of the other guests don't remember her. But why did Alex react like that when I mentioned her name? I wonder. Never mind. I want to ask you one last thing. I find it hard to believe that an undercover investigator like you doesn't have a way to get in touch with the outside world. Are you hiding anything? All communications from the island are monitored, and they've also set up several jammers. It's not possible to contact the outside world with regular communication equipment. So what you're saying is that it is possible with special equipment. Well, I have an optical wireless communication device. It can communicate directly with satellites by using a high-powered laser. This will avoid any jammers on the island, and there's no way the communications can be intercepted. But this device has a major drawback. It can't be used if there's too much cloud cover. Not bad for a stupid little girl. Exactly. It's not a big deal in a normal area, but in the Aleutian, it's a problem. There's cloud cover all year round, so it can't be used to communicate with often. Since we arrived on this island, I haven't been able to use it even once. And even then, the beam needs to be focused precisely, making it very difficult to use. Still, good to have in case of an emergency. Yes, it would be really nice to not be dead by then. Also, without conclusive evidence that those weapons are being developed here, nobody will be coming for us. The risk is too high. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So, Akita, do you really think we can survive this? Judging from the cold-blooded ways each of the dead has been murdered, we're dealing with a professional assassin. Oh, and let's not forget about that creature. Hey, I'm doing everything I can. And if things really go south, we could always try the healing power of prayer. Stop joking around. What good would prayer do? I've seen enough darkness and evil in my life. If there was a God, this world would be a little bit less wretched. And if God does exist, he doesn't get involved in anything, so he might just as well not exist. So I don't pray to God. I know I'm the only one looking out for myself. Welcome to the wonderful world of sarcasm? I don't mean everything I say so literally, you know. She reminds me of someone. Come to think of it, your office is in New York, isn't it? Can you see the Manhattan skyline from there? What's this all of a sudden? Yeah, my office has a great view of it. Akita, if you don't stop lying, the demon will rip your tongue out. Actually, I'm betting the truth a little bit, but I do know a few places from where you can see the skyline at night. I see. The Manhattan skyline. I've never seen it with my own two eyes. If I die, but you make it out of here, please scatter my ashes there. I don't have any friends or family. I'd rather be put to rest there than 6 feet under. Enough gloomy talk. Also, you can't see the skyline if all that's left of you are some ashes. Come to New York in one piece instead. I don't want to carry around your urn. I don't think all of us will be getting off this island alive. It's all right. If you die and I survive, I'll scatter your ashes on the East River. It's very kind of you, but we're all getting out of here alive. We can have breakfast in Manhattan, hamburgers for lunch, dinner in Brooklyn at night, and finally drinks at a bar. And the East River won't have to be polluted with any of our ashes. Huh, I guess that's something to look forward to. Alright, I'm gonna do a save. I might have had a little bit too much to drink. I'll sober up in my room and come back a little later. Do not reveal my true identity to anyone, okay? Of course, no need to tell me. We'll pretend to be the way we used to be before, don't worry. Actually, I'm more worried about the gloomy girl. Don't worry about her. Nanako doesn't even possess the communication skills that would allow her to talk about it. Ouch. You! Stop insulting me. But come to think of it, you're probably right. I'll see you later. Ooh, at least we discovered her true identity. I'm glad we did, but what are we going to do now? Of course, our next step will be unmasking the killer. In her testimony, Real talked about everyone. If we combine and compare all of the testimonies, I'm convinced that we will be able to unmask the killer. Could you take a look at this first? Thomas was the first guest to cross the bridge. We don't know if the doors were open or closed at that time. No, Real and Jacob crossed the bridge first. Ah, yes, you're right. Alright, let's focus on retracing Thomas's steps, as he was the one who was murdered. Real noticed that the doors were open. Next, Thomas crossed the bridge. Yes, at this point in time, the doors were open. But if we base this only on Real's testimony, we don't know if the doors were closed before or after Thomas went to the dining hall. This part is definitely muddled. After that, we went through the corridor and crossed the bridge. The iron doors were closed, and nothing was going on the bridge, right? Yes, I don't remember anything being out of the ordinary. One important fact is that the iron doors were closed when we went through the corridor. So if Real's testimony was correct, someone must have closed the iron doors just before we crossed the bridge. Who could that have been? The iron doors, most likely. Oh boy, okay. So, I'm trying to think here. What would it be? I would say the killer closed them? The killer probably closed them. Well, only the killer would benefit from the doors being closed. But did they go to the bridge just to close the doors? Someone could have seen them closing the doors. Perhaps the killer really wanted to have the doors closed, even though someone could have seen them? But still, it would have been a lot of work. Let's talk about the murder scene. After we crossed the bridge, we met Abby. Abby told us that she would lock the doors into place. If she did as she said, the iron door should have been opened right after that. She's a villain and tried to break my bones, so maybe she was lying. But that doesn't appear to be the case. If Akira and Giselle's testimonies are true, the iron doors were open. So Abby did what she said she would. After that, Akira and Giselle went straight to the dining hall without noticing anything unusual. Giselle said she went back to her room to pick up her notebook. That is pretty suspicious behavior. Oh, that's right. Giselle returned to her room to pick up her notebook and then went back to the dining hall. The doors were open at that time, and there was still nothing strange about the bridge. Alex crossed the bridge next. Alex also testified that there was nothing strange about the bridge and the doors, and that the bridge and the doors, and that the doors were closed. He was the last one to cross the bridge. It's suspicious. Alex could have closed the doors and might have done something on the bridge, right? Is his testimony trustworthy? In any case, considering Real's testimony, it's clear that the iron doors were closed at this point. We don't know who closed them, for now anyways. But anyone could have closed them, including Akira, who left the dining hall immediately. Only the two of us have an alibi. Or did the people from the mansion close it? It might be possible, but it wouldn't explain why Abby went out of her way to open those heavy doors. If the killer had the people from the mansion close the doors, why would Abby open the doors in the first place? Does that mean that the killer closed them? And Thomas, who was with us in the dining hall, was burnt to a crisp in the corridor in the guest room building. Judging from both your and Alex's testimonies that the bridge felt warm, it's certain that there was something hot on the bridge. But Alex told me that he didn't see anything unusual on the bridge when he crossed it. It's very strange. If there was something strange on the bridge, Alex would have probably noticed it. This part is still vague. Maybe Alex was just lying? That could certainly be the case, but Real might be lying as well. When it comes to what happened on the bridge, the testimonies of those two are the most suspicious. Considering the situation, definitely. Or could things be less complicated than we're thinking? I think it's best to keep things simple. Perhaps we should just not look at the murder of Thomas. This could be somehow related to the murder of Sir Raymond as well. This is how the guest rooms were located. We found Sir Raymond's body in this room. There's nothing particularly strange about that. Is there anything here that points to the killer? I want to try something. Huh? What do you want to try? I mean, go right ahead, but... I'm going to the room where Sir Raymond's body was found, and I'll yell from there. I want you to listen if you can hear my voice in this room. Are you really going back to that room? My knees suddenly started shaking again. Hey, that means you're going to leave me alone again. You've got to be kidding. No, you can't be serious. You'll be fine. I'll only be gone for 2 minutes at most. Are you really going to go? Calm down, Neneko. Think. It's just stupid Akita trying to be funny. Ha ha. Wow, you idiot! Don't you know? I can hear Neneko yelling and screaming behind the door, but I need to check my hunch. I'd better hurry to the room where we found Sir Raymond's body. This room is so gross. That putrid dead body smell still hangs in the air. I'd better get this over with quickly. Neneko is a bonehead! That should do it. Now to find out if Neneko could hear me. I'll go back to my room. Hey, Neneko, I'm done. You can come out of hiding. Akita, you idiot. You made me wait almost 1,000,000 years. That long and you haven't had a mental breakdown. Not bad at all. So, could you hear me shout? Shout. Oh, you mentioned that. I completely forgot. Jeesh. Well, since you totally forgot about it, I'll just have to go back one more time. Hi-ya! No, just kidding. I remembered what you told me. Are you sure? So could you hear my voice over here? I don't think I did. Probably. I'm telling the truth. Would I lie to you? Don't leave me alone anymore, please. If you leave me alone again, I'll call you Sen Demon Scumbag Akita for the rest of your life. Whatever. Anyway, I believe you. But if you didn't hear me, then it's kind of strange, because Alex and I both could hear Sir Raymond's moans. That would mean that the moaning didn't come from the room, but it came from the hallway instead? Maybe? No, I checked the hallway as soon as I heard the moaning, but there was nothing unusual there, and I didn't hear the sound of a door closing. That moaning sound has to have come from another room. Then which room did it come from? I think that it came from the room next to this one. The room next to this one. I have a bad feeling about this. Join the party. If I break into the room next to ours, I might be able to find some evidence there. I knew it. Don't go. Stop leaving me behind. Come with me then. To be honest, I don't like that either. Oh, wait, I have a feeling you're going to leave me again. I guess I'll just have to come with you, because you won't be able to do anything without me. That's very helpful, really. What's with the smug look? Alright. Hate to do this. I'm gonna end the episode here. Real is wizards. We have yet chalked another bad end onto our save file. I'm gonna collect all the bad ends for the game. And probably gonna find another gruesome discovery in the room next to ours. Wow. Just every time I play, I think the game is gonna be like, oh, it's gonna dial it down, and it just keeps dialing it up and up and up. How many people are gonna die? Is it just gonna be like us left on the island, Netiko? All these characters are disposable at this point. So I hope you guys are enjoying the playthrough. If you are, consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel. I upload content like this all the time, and I'll see you back soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.